Yeah, I think it's important, man, 100%. And I just feel like, I think sometimes, a lot of times when people don't know something, they're quick to dismiss it out of embarrassment. It's like being asked a simple maths question, like what's two plus two, and then not knowing the answer and telling someone like, don't be silly. Why are you asking me something silly like that? Everyone knows that. In reality, you don't. And I feel like we've come to a point in society now where there's so much information, but yet as a community, whether it's Black, Asian, or Arab, like I say, we don't know enough about our history and colonialism and the impact that the colonial powers that be had against the countries that we come from. A lot of the time, we don't understand the systematic imprint that was put on the places that our parents came from and why they are how they are. So a lot of the time, we just brush things off because we don't understand it. I feel like it's come to a point now where we have to inform ourselves and have to gain more knowledge on, everything around us in terms of where we come from, what the imperial powers that be, the effects that it had on our countries. A lot of the time we forget that a lot of the Muslim countries that we look up to in terms of spiritual guidance and leadership were also colonized, and we're also under the British rule. And a lot of the times we forget that. And we have to understand wherever the British went, they set up systems of caste, of power, and it put something in the hearts and minds of those people that they went over and colonized. And so sometimes we forget and we just, don't we don't add the two together to get the results to let us understand this is why a group of people think the way they think. This is why they're so far off their true history, because after this period and the things that they were taught through colonialism, it affected them like this. There's so many, learned behaviors that communities have, which are not naturally from their communities, but are through the systematic pressures that they went through colonialism and things like that. But I feel like right now we're in a time of information and people have to just be more informed and not to be shy to say, I don't know. There's a lot of black women and men who don't know much about their history. And sometimes it feels embarrassing not to know, but it's about time to say, what, I don't know, let me learn. Let me learn. Let me learn about black history. Let me learn about Asian history. Let me learn about the effects, that the British, imperial powers that be had against us. Let me understand how it affects us today, or it affects some of the people in our communities and their thinking, and how we can kind of, because only once you know would you be able to start working against it and being able to create a new system to better yourself. And I think this is important right now. And this is something I was telling Abu Bakr. I think rather than it being a time for us to complain, it's a time because we've been complaining. We've been saying a lot of things for many a times, many a year, and not much has changed. But in that period of time, we haven't informed ourselves enough with information and understanding to better ourselves as a community.